India has long stood among the founding 5 members of BRICS, a grouping originally created to amplify emerging economies. Since its inception in 2009, India has treated BRICS not as an adversarial bloc but as a platform for inclusive, multipolar development. From the outset, India pushed for the creation of the new development bank, signed at the 2014 Fortaleza Summit, and the Contingent Reserve Arrangement, initiatives aimed at offering financial tools beyond Western institutions such as the IMF and World Bank. The first president of the bank was Indian, cementing New Delhi's early leadership in shaping BRICS architecture. When BRICS began the process of expansion in 2023, extending invitations to countries like Egypt, Ethiopia, Saudi Arabia, Iran, the UAE, and Indonesia, India supported this enlargement selectively, favoring nations aligned with its non-zero-sum, interest-based outlook. New Delhi saw membership expansion as an opportunity both to broaden economic ties across Asia, Africa, and the Middle East and to strengthen the group's legitimacy as a representative body of the Global South. India remained cautious, wary of adding states that could tilt the bloc into a pro-China ideological camp. At the 2025 BRICS Summit in Rio, under India's incoming presidency, Prime Minister Narendra Modi unveiled a new vision for the bloc, renaming BRICS as Building Resilience and Innovation for Cooperation and Sustainability. He emphasized climate justice as a moral duty, advocated human-centered cooperation, and called for reform of global governance institutions so they better reflect the interests of developing nations. Modi proposed that BRICS projects should focus on financial inclusion, clean energy, narrowing the digital divide, and promoting intra-BRICS trade in local currencies. India's strategic engagement makes clear that it sees BRICS expansion not as a confrontation with Western-led forums, but as a complementary mechanism in its multi-aligned foreign policy. Indian diplomats have repeatedly stressed that BRICS is fundamentally non-Western, not anti-Western. Its purpose is to reform, not replace. Expanding membership, if managed well, helps India pursue broader trade corridors, diversify partnerships, and elevate its voice in institutional reforms, especially around the UN Security Council, WTO, and IMF. Within BRICS, India also seeks to balance China's dominant economic influence. India has pressed for diversity of leadership, jointly produced financial infrastructure like the new development bank, and facilitated cooperation in areas such as clean energy, digital connectivity, and research through channels like the BRICS Universities League. India's private sector, especially its IT and climate technology firms, sees BRICS as a market and partnership opportunity. However, India's path is not without challenges. India has been cautious about too rapid or ideologically driven expansion, fearing dilution of its influence and potential alignment with states hostile to its interests, such as Pakistan. India's policy has emphasized working with aspirant members who add economic weight and broader regional reach, while avoiding polarization. India has also resisted de-dollarization pushes within BRICS. While supporting the use of national currencies for trade among member states, India has stopped short of endorsing a formal BRICS currency or full abandonment of the US dollar. The Reserve Bank of India views this as prudent de-risking. Through all these actions, India has reaffirmed its larger foreign policy goal, pursuing strategic autonomy through multi-alignment. Participation in BRICS complements its parallel engagement in Quad, G20 and bilateral ties with Western powers. At the same time, BRICS gives India institutional access to influence global policy reform in areas such as climate finance, digital inclusion, debt restructuring, and fairer governance. But the bloc itself faces growing complexity. The latest enlargement has created internal tensions, with some analysts warning that the inclusion of authoritarian regimes may reduce BRICS' credibility. Some see BRICS losing its coherence unless it sharpens its focus on actionable projects such as Global South infrastructure investment, green energy financing, and digital transformation. India has called repeatedly for greater clarity of purpose and democratic reform of international institutions. As India prepares to take the BRICS chairmanship in 2026, it hopes to strike a balance, uphold the grouping's expansion and inclusivity, while ensuring that India's vision of a people-centric, sustainable and reform-driven BRICS comes to the fore. India intends to steer BRICS towards pragmatic cooperation, not geopolitical posturing, to enable joint development rather than ideological competition. India's role in the expanded BRICS bloc is multidimensional, a founding institution builder, a cautious yet constructive voice on expansion, a champion of reform and sustainability, and a broker between global South aspirations and Western-dominated institutions. Through this approach, India aims to shape BRICS into not just a symbol of emerging market solidarity, but a functional tool for equitable global governance in the 21st century.